Alright, shalom, akim, shalom. First and foremost, as always, before I get started, giving all praise to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that have taught us His truth, and that Ruel. Alright, and peace and blessings go out to the hopeful members of the elect, scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, that are in the hopes of receiving salvation during the time of Jacob's trouble, and that believe in the true doctrine of the Heavenly Father that is being declared via Him setting His Spirit upon His servants and prophets that have been given the secrets concerning the Holy Scriptures, okay? And one of the many secrets that the Heavenly Father has given them is the prophecy found in Revelation, the 16th chapter, where it speaks about the War of Armageddon, okay? Also known in today's society as World War III, okay? A discussion that is being openly declared throughout all social media platforms, okay? Even considering the video that I have queued up, alright, on the screen entitled "Justin Trump Warns World War III Has Never Been Closer," okay? Under a YouTube page called Forbes Breaking News that has 2.6, pretty much rounding it to 3 million subscribers, okay? Showing you that this is something that is in the talks, okay? Of course, World War III in the past decade or two has been always in the air, but not to the extent to where you see it being openly spoken about in all kinds of social media avenues, okay? Which shows forth that we're very close, all right, to the day of judgment where the Heavenly Father is going to start reaping, okay, what society has been sowing. And it's nothing but a judgment from on high, okay? A death by pain that's going to be orchestrated via nuclear destruction, okay? Now in this video, I more so just want to, like it says, it's in the news regarding the talks of World War III, just speaking about a couple points that happened this week that give us a couple steps closer to the fulfillment of this prophecy, okay? Now before I play this video, I want to bring up an article regarding the situation that happened this week on Tuesday, alright, of U.S. airstrikes hitting Katib. It says the military carried out airstrikes on 3 facilities used by the Iraq-based Katib, Hezbollah, and affiliated groups on Monday night after an attack injured 3 U.S. troops, leaving 1 in critical condition. Okay. Now, real quick, I want to look up the casualties concerning this airstrike, because if I'm not mistaken, it was roughly 1 wounded and 13. One casualty and 13 injured. But as always, Esau loves to play with the numbers. But real quick, it says, let me see. This casualties. I forget which article exactly I found, but Esau gave an estimate of 14 people being injured, one of them being, killed, but it was more than that, okay? Because even considering the context of where this airstrike took place, all right, it was founded upon 3 facilities, all right, which gives the understanding that it was way more than that, okay? Which is ultimately doing nothing but furthering the anger and hatred, okay, that these Arab nations have towards America, okay? And what's that doing? Giving us more of a, as a matter of fact, real quick, let's grab Genesis 16, where it speaks about Ishmael having the characteristic of being a wild man, okay? Because ultimately that situation that happened this week on Monday night, okay, has put that spirit of Ishmael, okay, which is the progenitor of the Arab nations, to be in that spirit of being what? A wild man, okay? This is Genesis 16 and starting at 11. It says, "And the angel of Yahweh said unto her," okay, the mother of Ishmael, which is Hagar, it says, "Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because Yahweh has heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. Okay? And even understanding the character and nature of the Arab nations, they're very wild people, always, boasting with their guns. Case in point, a city to look into is Abu Dhabi. Okay, we have nothing but Ishmael being Ishmael, driving those nice cars, doing crazy shit. All right, being a wild man. It says his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. Okay, and even considering the history with Iraq and the whole Al Qaeda incident back in early 2010. Okay, that took place of every hand being against Ishmael. Okay, it says, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Okay, case in point, in the Middle East, all right, you have nothing much but a bunch of Arabs. Okay, brother with brother, so on and so forth. And if I'm not mistaken, Ishmael had 12 sons. Okay, it says right, that was the point. So from there, let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, and grab the point of the Carmenians, okay, which are also known as the in this generation, the Arabs. Okay, because when you go to the real quick definition of the Carmenians, there were the Medo-Persians. It says, let me see, the Carmenians were a warlike people, okay, who were said to live and fight like Medes and Persians, except that they used donkeys even in war because horses were so scarce. Okay, and even understanding the definition for wild. Matter of fact, real quick, since we're still here, takes us back to the Strong's H6501, para, wild ass. Okay, now let's go back to the definition, all right, of them using donkeys. All right, what a coincidence. But when you go to the map, all right, of the Carmenians, all right, it was the outskirts of where Arabia is. Okay, but ultimately this is where they're dwelling. All right, of course it's a little further down of the Middle East. All right, but the majority of them are dwelling within this piece of land. Okay, so the Carmenians are likened to the Arab nations. Okay, real quick, let's go back to this platform. So 2nd Ezra is 15 and starting at 28. It says, behold, a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. Okay, which this horrible vision encapsulates World War 3. All right, which is ultimately going to start off in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, pursuant to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, which is found in the Persian Gulf. It says, when the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Okay, and through this event taking place on Tuesday, all right, it's also given Iran the green light to raise production rate of near weapon grade uranium. Okay, which uranium is a key element to make what? Nuclear weaponry. Okay, so by this incident happening, it's given the spirit to the Arabs to be in that wild man estate of bringing nothing but destruction. Okay, there was a point that I wanted in this article, but let me see here. Right, this is around the 5th paragraph. It says, diplomats believe Western powers have been reluctant to get tough on Tehran in recent months for fear of aggravating Middle East tensions as Iran grows its nuclear program and reduces cooperation with the UN watchdog. Okay, and with this event happening, all right, these Iranians in the Middle East are pissed off. Okay, they're aggravated in that fear that this Western power has being nothing but put to the next level. Okay, that's why you have not only President Trump but other people in that same authority bring forth these messages to the social media platforms to warn them, okay, that this is coming. So let me play this video for a couple seconds and then we'll go back to that article.
World War III has never been closer than it is right now. We need to clean house of all of the warmongers and America last globalists and the deep state, the Pentagon, the State Department, and the national security industrial complex. One of the reasons I was the only president in generations who didn't start a war is that I was the only president who rejected the catastrophic advice of many of Washington's generals, bureaucrats, and the so-called diplomats.
And ultimately, he's just a puppet, all right? But the point being is that this message of war, all right, is being spoken about everybody, okay? And this shows forth that the Heavenly Father is going to confound the wise with the foolish, because the apostles of Great Millstone have been speaking about this prophecy decades back, okay? Where when this talking point was being declared, people looked at him as if they had two heads, okay? But now this prophecy is tarrying no more, just like it tells you in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, okay? Though it tarry, wait for it, okay? And now we're living in the society where this prophecy is no more tarrying, but it is on the brink of being fulfilled, okay? Call hello Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. Because society, when they hear this talking point, are in the spirit of being scared, you know? But we're in the spirit of being joyful, because via this prophecy being taken place, all right, our deliverance is also going to come, okay? So now let's go back to the article, all right, of the Iranians bringing forth the system of them creating uranium. It says, worries of a wider regional conflict have sharpened since Hamas's devastating October 7 onslaught and Israel's subsequent air and ground offensive aimed at eliminating the terror group in Gaza. War erupted when thousands of terrorists from the Iran-backed group stormed into southern Israel, brutally massacring at least 1,200 people, mostly civilians, in their homes and at music festivals, and seizing some 240 hostages, okay? Which ultimately Esau's doing the same thing, all right, via, Israel bombing the hospital. They justified it by saying they had tunnels under, but not considering that they killed infants, toddlers, all right? Showing you that they're nothing but a bunch of hypocrites, okay? But also showing you that the tension of World War III it's lively and it's there, man, okay? So now after this one, let's go back to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, and keep reading. I'll read 29 again. It says, when the nations of the dragons of Arabia, okay, like I said, the Middle East countries where you have different sects of Arabs, okay, because even in the land of the Middle East, okay, those Arabs are very separate. You know, there's a lot of dichotomies within them because of religion-wise. You know, some of them believe in the scriptures, some of them are Christians, but you also have others that are Muslims, okay, and that follow the teachings of Muhammad, okay, which ultimately that division was set up by the Roman Catholic Church via the Vatican, okay. But they're all going to come in one accord of what? Of destroying America. In this article, all right, an event that happened Monday night is nothing but a testimony of them to be in one alliance to destroy Babylon the Great, okay? It says, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble, okay? And America is in that state right now of fearing and trembling because of the fact that they now have the same nuclear capability as them, okay? And as a matter of fact, let's grab Joel the 2nd chapter. Joel the 3rd chapter, if I'm not mistaken. weak say strong. Right, this is Joel chapter 3 and 10. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Okay? Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Okay? Like I said earlier, it's going to be taking place in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay? And in this society, it's called the Persian Gulf. Okay? But this is where all the other nations are going to be set up to fulfill and orchestrate the Heavenly Father's vengeance. Okay? It says, verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay? And this is what's happening. Okay? The Heavenly Father is bringing forth all these strategic moves to get all these other nations in one accord to fulfill the Heavenly Father's vengeance upon this great whore, America. Okay? So now let's go back to 2 verses 15 and 30. It says, also the Carmenians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars. Okay? Like you read in the characteristic of Ishmael. Okay? In Genesis the 16th chapter of being a wild man. Same thing with this. If you're being spiritual, okay? The wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, okay? Now the modern day land of the Assyrians is America, okay? Which is where the Arab nations are ultimately going to bring forth the great power of their nuclear capability to destroy it, okay? And this is exactly what we see happening as we continue to measure the time diligently in itself and marry the prophecies with the current events that we see happening. Okay? The Heavenly Father bringing forth nothing but fanners, okay, to fan this whore and bring forth that besom of destruction. So now let's go into Jeremiah the 51st chapter, and I'll start at the first verse. It says, thus saith Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Okay? And how is that destroying wind going to take place? With thermonuclear destruction. Okay? I forget which Terminator movie exactly it is, but it gives you the illustration of how this destroying wind is going to look like. Matter of fact, real quick. I'm going to bring this back up. Damn. So lucky. Right. This one right here. Now I don't want to let the video run because it might get this video might get striked, but you know, just showing you scene by scene how this destroying wind is going to look like. So lucky. Yeah. It's going to get bad, man. There you go. That's the destroying wind. Alright? Wiping out everything that is in that playing field. Okay? This is what's coming. This is the fulfillment of Jeremiah the 51st chapter of the Heavenly Father sending forth a destroying wind. Okay? And this didn't happen in the Babylonian Empire. Okay? You can read about how the Babylonian Empire fell down in Daniel the 5th chapter. Okay? And the proof of that is when you go to the study guide under David Guzik and you read certain portions of it, it gives you understanding that this chapter is a future prophecy. Case in point, it says, in many of the predictions of Jeremiah 51, we have prophecies that were fulfilled in one sense in the conquest of Babylon, not far from Jeremiah's own time. Still, because the Babylon of Jeremiah's day was defeated yet not utterly destroyed, okay? And the testimony of that is Iraq, okay? Which is where you had ancient Babylon, okay? Which can be still inhabited till this day. The devastation predicted in these chapters will have a second and ultimate fulfillment in the last days. This is vividly described in Revelation 17 and 18, okay? And as a matter of fact, real quick, let's grab Revelation 18 and 21, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, let's grab Revelation 18 and start at 20. It says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the heavenly Father has avenged you on her," okay? The daughter of Babylon, which is what? America, okay? "And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down," okay? "And shall be found no more at all," meaning being inhabitable, okay? And that's going to be the residue of America, man, okay? So this shows you that these scholars and other people that study the scriptures understand that this is a future event that is yet to take place, okay? And they don't have the understanding of what exactly is going to happen, okay? But we do, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. So now let's go back to Jeremiah 51 and keep reading. Verse 2, it says, "And I will send unto Babylon fanners, that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble there shall be against her round about." Okay? Now from here, let's jump down to the 7th verse and read on. "Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken." And how did it make the earth drunken? Through its philosophies, okay? Through its deception. Damn, Salaki, Akim. But through Esau's deception, he's been able to compromise and control these other nations to do his bidding, okay? But now we're living in the society where the Heavenly Father is showing the filth of Babylon, okay? To the point where you have the fulfillment of the latter end of this verse. "The nations have been drunk off her wine, therefore the nations are mad," okay? Now they see the bigger picture as to why, America made them do what they did. Okay? And they want vengeance. They want revenge. Okay? And it's going to be done under the means of thermonuclear destruction. Okay? And the testimony of them being mad is through events like this, man. Okay? And we're going to, through the Spirit, I feel like we're going to see more and more, okay, moves made by America that are going to aggravate the Arab nations. Okay? So with that, Lord's will, this video was edifying, straight to the point. I just wanted to give my 2 cents, alright, regarding some events that happened this week that are doing nothing but giving more pushes, okay, to the fulfillment of World War 3, okay? So with that, giving all praise to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that have taught us His truth and that rule well. And peace and blessings go out to the hopeful members of the elect. Shalom.